Right. Hello, I would like to welcome the audience to the Holly Hill Mayoral Candidate Forum. At this time, all of our audience, make sure that you select speaker view so that you can see our candidates when they are up to speak. And please leave your camera and your microphone off. Thank you. And I'll hand it over to our moderator.
Welcome on behalf of the Orangeburg Area League of Women Voters. I am Angela Small Blaylock, and I will be the moderator for the forum. The League is a nonpartisan organization interested in helping to educate voters about the candidates as they prepare to vote for Holly Hill's mayor. The League of Women Voters does not endorse candidates or political parties. The town of Holly Hill operates under the council form of government, where elected representatives serve as the decision-making body. There are 5 council members, including the mayor. Each council member holds 1 vote and acts as Congress on a local level. Their duties include voting on new laws, approving the city budget, approving land usage, hiring and firing city employees, including police officers and library staff, coordinating city events, and advocating for their constituency. They serve 4-year terms. You will have the opportunity to vote for one of these candidates starting on Monday. Early voting is available from October 20th through the 31st, Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. The voting center is located at the Orangeburg County Voter Registration and Election Office at 1475 Amelia Street, Orangeburg, South Carolina, 29115. Election Day is on Tuesday, November 4th. Your polling location will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Please visit scvotes.org to check your polling location. It may be different than last November. Now for a few housekeeping items. We ask that all candidates mute their audio and turn off their video so only the moderator and the candidates are seen and there is no background noise. We've asked each of the candidates not to post any political signs or partisan materials on their screens. Your questions or comments will be seen only by the moderator. Questions were developed by the League of Women Voters of the Orangeburg area. The moderator will ask all of the questions. These are the rules of the forum. First, each candidate will be allowed 60 seconds to introduce themselves. Then, each candidate will be allowed 90 seconds to respond to every question. In the interest of fairness, we will rotate candidates to provide an opportunity for each to go first in answering questions. Lastly, each candidate will have 60 seconds to make a closing statement and give voters information on how to contact them and learn more. These time limits will be strictly enforced. Angelica Blaylock from the Orangeburg Area League of Women Voters will help the candidates keep track of time. You will see a sign posted at the 30-second warning, a 15-second warning, and then she will hold up a card that says stop when the time is up. Candidates will not be allowed to interrupt one another while answering the questions. No inappropriate language, name calling, etc. will be allowed. No time is allotted for rebuttals. Candidates can give clarifications during the time allotted to them for answering the questions. Let's begin with a moment of silence. Thank you. Now let's introduce the candidates. 4 candidates are running for mayor of the town of Holly Hill. All candidates were invited to this forum. With us today, we have Billy N. Chavis, Michael Dennis, Thurman Phillips, and Jeffrey Stahl. The first question will go to Mr. Chavis. What are the top 3 issues you will address, and what, if anything, would you do differently if elected?
Oh. Did we want to start with the opening statement?
Oh, I'm sorry, I did overlook that. We will now ask each candidate to begin with your 60-second opening statement. Please forgive me. And we will start with Mr. Chavis.
Good evening. I want to thank the League of Women Voters of Orangeburg for holding this forum on our behalf. My name is Billy N. Chavis. I'm the mayor of Holly Hill. Got elected in November 2021. The town of Holly Hill has made great strides. When I first got elected, one of the biggest things that we did not know that the town was in such bad shape. So one of our proudest crowning moments was last year when the first time in over 30 years, the town sewer and water department did not end up in the red. But we've made great strides in increasing our police department, police cars, infrastructure, got grant funding, got money for parks, get inflow and infiltration out of our system, and getting ready for the 21st century, because one of the things we've known for the longest time is the eastern end of Orangeburg County has always taken the back seat to Orangeburg City. So with that, thank you.
Next, we will have Mr. Dennis.
Could you unmute yourself?
My fault. Okay, by way of introduction, my name is Michael Dennis. I'm married. I have 4 young children, 2, 4, 7, and 9. I was born in rural Indiana. I went to Indiana University 2 years, was involved in a head-on collision. After I got cleaned up, I transferred to the College of Charleston, graduated there, was very involved in the Charleston community. I was appointed by a governor to the State Foster Care Review Board. I was on the Habitat for Humanity Board in Charleston for 6 years, involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters, and involved in numerous political campaigns for U.S. Congress, Charleston School Board, State House. We moved up here to get out of the big city in the pandemic, and we love it. It's rural, but when we moved here, we saw some needs, and that's why we got involved, and that's part of the reason why I'm running for mayor. That's it.
Next, we have Mr. Phillips.
Well, good evening. Thank you for having me and holding this forum. My name is Thurman Phillips Jr. I'm a recent not recent, but a you have to forgive me. Today is not a good day for me because it's the day my mother passed, and I'm kind of emotional about that. But I moved here from New Jersey 2018, 2018, and the 31st of this month will be 7 years. I have explored many things in life. I've been in music. My dad had a business. I also supervised over 200 people for a transportation company. Also helped that that company that had an income of $10 million per year. I helped run that. And after that, I ended up retiring with medical conditions. And I thank God I'm able to walk.
Mr. Stahl. Is Mr. Stahl on mute?
Yes, if you could unmute yourself.
Mr. Stahl, we're waiting for your opening statement.
Hello?
Yes, We're waiting for
Oh.
your opening statement. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Jeffrey Stahl. I moved to Holly Hill in 2017. I'm a home builder and a land developer. In Charleston and North Charleston, I built over 975 homes and developed 3 neighborhoods. So I've got experience in sewer and water and road construction. We actually had our own crews where we did the work ourselves, worked with engineers and realtors to get everything done that we needed to get done to provide our product. I was asked by several business leaders in town to run for mayor. They were dissatisfied with a few things and they felt that I would be a good fit for the mayor of Holly Hill. The citizens that I've met since I've been on the street feel the same way. So that's it.
Thank you. For the following questions, candidates will have 90 seconds to respond, and we will begin with Mr. Chavis. What are the top 3 issues you will address, and what, if anything, would you do differently if elected?
So whenever I was elected in 2021, our youth sports, we had to get a third party to run our athletics here in Holly Hill. Parks and Recreation were not funded at all. It was null and void. I will continue help pushing our youth through our programs. That's why we put in for all 1.2 million of our CPST5 money, our capital project sales tax through Orangeburg County that was extended in November 24. We put all 1.2 million into our parks to build a splash pad and to make our parks ADA compliant. We don't have any handicap equipment other than a small piece of equipment that doesn't even teeter 1 inch on both sides with a handicapped child, and that's not all-inclusive playground equipment. But we plan to spend all $1.2 million on all of our playgrounds, continue going out and getting our next biggest issue is like the Bible tells you, you build your foundation on solid rock, it will endure forever. And one of the biggest things that Holly Hill has had is we've had a lot of our infrastructure was built on shifting sand. So we continue going out and getting grants. We currently have $1 million grant from RIA, and we're recipient of 1.715 from State Revolving Fund Principal Forgiveness. The other thing is household median income of Holly Hill is just over 24,000. We're going to continue pushing, getting us more police officers, more police vehicles. You can't protect the people that make just over $24,000 a year. How do you invite businesses to come into town? Thank you.
Mr. Dennis?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the top 3 issues you will address, and what, if anything, would you do differently if elected?
I think the fact that 3 of us are running against an incumbent leads us to believe that there are many people who are not satisfied without any criticism about the way the city's going. My priority number 1, when I started to run, people said that they were having a hard time feeding their families. So the salary for the mayor is $9,600. I gave that first year's salary, if I am elected, to a local church who has a food ministry and a bread bank. Then I think I would try to bring the community back together, because the community in this election cycle, unfortunately, it's been a little unhealthily partisan. So I think I'll win or lose. I want to be gracious, and I told everyone that I hope the day after the election we just come together. Thirdly, I think I would like to represent some type of advocate for a community policing model where the first time someone meets a police officer, it's not on the side of the road. Give police officers an opportunity to come together at a community event where we can talk and get to know them personally. And that's really food security, bringing the community together, and some type of community policing model. That's it.
Mr. Phillips? What are the 3 issues you will address, and what, if anything, would you do differently if elected?
Well, if I'm elected, the first thing I would try to do is to get a quick response EMS station here in Holly Hill, because the older generation is starting to move a little slower. Any type of medical assistance needed, that should be a very important move. Also, reconnecting with the community, collaborating with different, we have 4 districts here. And in those 4 districts, I would like to bring a committee together to help the police in any type of situation, that they can correspond with the police on any elect it. I'm sorry. Today is just not a good day for me. Any Ill, Ill, any illegalities that they see going on in their neighborhood. If you can sit around and take a photo of yourself, a selfie, then take a picture or a video of some crime that's going on in your neighborhood. Once you do that, take it to the police department, sit down with them, let them collaborate there. Also, I would like for the police department to get out in the neighborhoods, get to know the citizens of this community in each district for a certain amount of time that they are there. Thank you.
Mr. Stahl, what are the three top issues you will address, and what, if anything, would you do differently if elected?
Well, my first point is that to maintain a small government as the town grows. Under Mayor Chavis, he's expanded the police department from 3 to 9. He's added employees both inside the office, outside the office. His budget is $2.9 million, and that will grow. They have a current line item for the police department to bring in $400,000 a year in court fines. My second item is to reform the police department. I feel like the culture of the police department has become a little aggressive. I've talked with many of the citizens, and they've told me many times where the police sit outside of their businesses and profile people at the gas stations. And then as soon as they pull out, they follow them. Talked with the gentleman the other day, pulled out of his driveway, was followed to the edge of town and stopped because he had a suspicious vehicle. What's interesting is the vehicle was the same vehicle that the police drive, a black F-150. How can you stop somebody for a suspicious vehicle when you see them pull out of their driveway in town and follow them to the edge of town and pull them over? The third thing is I'm a home builder and I want to help people repair their homes rather than tear them down. Code enforcement wants to go out there and find people and make them tear their homes down. I think we can find a way to save some of these homes rather than tear them down.
Our second question will start with Mr. Phillips. What are your plans for economic growth and development? And please be specific.
Economic development. Okay. Look at Holly Hill as an investment company. Citizen walks in and says, I would like to invest in your products. What are the products? And how can I get dividends on my return? Compound interest. Compound interest is going to come from the kids of Holly Hill as they're growing up. I would like to have them partner up with tradesmen that come into town, bankers, gas station owners, anyone that cuts grass, to take these young people, take them to a job site and show them how to grow a business. Entrepreneurship. That is one way to start growing revenue for the city. They may not all go to college. They may not end up going to the Army or the Navy or the Air Force. But if we can take them and start teaching them today for the long term in that manner, they will end up being very productive people for the city of Holly Hill.
Mr. Stahl, what are your plans for economic growth and development? And be specific. Can we check to see if he's on mute?
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I have a background in home building and land development, as I said, and basically I will use my contacts in county and state and in the real estate development business to bring people to town. The one thing that this town needs is people in order to have that economic development. The police department has run people out of town. They're not coming into town. That's why the IGA closed. I contacted management of IGA and they told me the reason they closed their business was because of the increased business license fees and because of lack of traffic. Everybody was driving around Holly Hill and going to the IGA in Utahville. So we're going to change the culture in the police department so people will be safe coming back into town and not being fearful for stop for any silly little thing to try to get money out of their pocket. So we're going to stop the taxation by citation, and we're going to get a new grocery store to come in at the IGA. But the main thing is we need to fix the sewer so that we can build homes. Right now, there is no new developments that are coming to town. Until the sewer is fixed, we will not have any new homes. So we've got to fix the sewer, we've got to get the new homes, and once you have the people, the businesses will come.
Mr. Chavis?
Yes, ma'am. Let me clarify something. We do have new developments coming to the town of Holly Hill. Just had a meeting with a developer the other day. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. But yes, so to improve our infrastructure is the same for economic stimulus for the community is to continue getting the developers to come in and help put money toward our brand new wastewater treatment plant, which we're almost at 60% design. The town, the ancestral people here cannot afford to build a brand new wastewater treatment plant. We've already started putting that development on the backs of the developers, and also to continue growing the town of Holly Hill, which is part of the 10-year comprehensive plan. We're going to continue not allowing our infrastructure to be sold, to be given away to developers and not annex their properties into the town. That's why under my administration, we annexed the first property into the town limits in modern memory. And June 10th, 2022, we've now annexed over 800 acres into the town of Holly Hill. So that's how we're going to continue moving forward, not giving away infrastructure, building the homes, bringing the people so that we can protect not only the ancestor people that are born and raised here will die here, but also the new people who are coming here to be a part of the town of Holly Hill.
And Mr. Dennis? What are your plans for economic growth and development? Please be specific.
I would start with the American dream, home ownership. We had met a mortgage company. We owned the old golf course clubhouse. A mortgage company came to us and said, can we rent your building to teach people on free credit repair and home ownership? And we said, sure. So we let the mortgage company. So I would encourage people to come to those free seminars at the clubhouse. I would encourage home ownership through that way because I think a strong family needs a home. And I think the anchor of any culture or small community, like we're a town, not a city, is a strong family and a home, not renting. Secondarily, I would encourage small business. I mentioned we approached the developers that bought the old golf course. We bought about 6 or 7 acres. We restored the pool, the clubhouse. We rent that out. But small businesses are the heart of a community. No direct criticism on a personal level to the current administration, but the small business license taxes or fees, I would have encouraged them to raise them, graduate, but they got raised 300 and 400% on a one-year term and put a lot of pressure on the small businesses. So I think we need to put an incubator around our small businesses. I think we need to encourage people to buy local. I buy all my tires local at a guy named Harold's. We buy flowers at the florist. I think we need to encourage the local businesses and allow people to think that they can start a small business. If they own a home, they'll be able to save some money. Homes and businesses.
This question will go to Mr. Stahl first. What are your thoughts on promoting the safety of those who live, work, and play in the city?
Could you repeat that?
What are your thoughts on promoting the safety of those who live, work, and play in the city?
Well, the main thing is to have a police department that the community knows and on a first name basis. We're a small enough community that our police officers should be known by our citizens. We need to have a police chief that will enforce the laws, that when a crime is committed, that it is followed up and investigated. I've spoken with numerous people on the streets. When I say the streets, I do have my campaigning out where the people are. I go in the street and I meet them out where they are in town. So they tell me all the time that they've had crimes that have happened and nobody's followed up. They show up, they take a report, and that's it. There's no follow-up. So we need to change the culture in the police department and make sure that they're serving the people in the terms of protect and serve rather than tax and fleece by citations. So that's what I think I'm going to start with is to reform the police department.
Mr. Chavis, what are your thoughts on promoting the safety of those who live, work, and play in the city?
Yes, ma'am. We're going to continue expanding our police department. Like I said before, if Holly Hill's household median income is just over 24,000, it's impossible for us to continue down the road with um, building developments and having a police department that's going to dwindle versus grow bigger. No one's going to want to come in and invest $1 million companies. We annexed 384 acres to our south to build a Holly Hill industrial park. They're going to build 9 warehouses. You can't decrease the police department. You have to increase the police department whenever you increase your foothold around the town. The police department in the town of Holly Hill is the best at the business of what they do. Make no mistake about it. A lot of the outside noises that are going on is people who, for lack of better terms, they left the house dirty. They know they're dirty, and now they don't want to be policed. But we're going to continue going down the road that we're going. We're going to increase with the master plan in the downtown area. We break ground in the spring of this year, which will then entice businesses to come. We just got retail strategies to come on board for the town of Holly Hill to help us find the businesses that we want in the town, the mom and pop shops versus the Fortune 500s who can leave on an economic downturn. First thing that happens, economic downturn, big business goes after they kill all the small businesses.
Mr. Dennis, what are your thoughts on promoting the safety of those who work and live and play in the city?
Since I do with 4 young kids, get to know your neighbors. I think I read something from the head of the SLED enforcement. He listed 2 or 3 things: use deadbolts, floodlights. If we're talking about safety, when I have young children, I always keep my eye on it, but I know my neighbors. I think that's the first thing we should all do in a small town. Be friendly, talk to them. If you know your neighbors, then you'll know that there's a car or someone around that you're not familiar with. And if you're not comfortable, I'm a big fan of calling the police. Don't take the risk. Outside of that, I know many of the police officers, and I'm sure there's always room for improvement. But generally, I would say Billy Chavis is I think he's mostly on par. I think there are some community policing models that we could probably bring in, but know your neighbors, secure your property, lock your doors, and if anything seems alarming or unusual, it probably is. Feel comfortable, call the police, don't take the risk.
Mr. Phillips, what are your thoughts on promoting the safety of those who live, work, and play in the city?
Well, most of all, it's got to be communication. We have to start with communication with the police department in every district that we live in. Police officers should go to these areas, get out of their vehicles. If they have to knock on doors, introduce themselves to the residents that live there. They have to be proactive in doing something like that, because without their help, people cannot help themselves. So therefore, if we end up giving that respect to one another, which is needed, because right now, respect for the police is actually dwindling. And I'm sorry to say that, but so many people are having problems with the police behind them, almost like a shakedown, which should not be. Everybody should know who the police officers are. They need to spend that time communicating, getting to know everyone, and making that a priority for this town to be successful in safety. Also to help watch children in the playgrounds and anywhere on the street. Thank you.
The next question will go to Mr. Dennis. What should the local government do to provide an equitable, quality public education for all children pre-K through 12th grade?
The first part, what should the local government do? Say that again.
What should the local government do to provide an equitable, quality public education for all children pre-K through grade 12?
First of all, I think education starts in the home. And we've chosen to homeschool our 4 children for now, and that works well for us. But I think people should advocate reading. I attended an event with Senator Tim Scott in Charleston, and he had a graph up that the earlier a child reads, it had so much to do with the demographics of their whole life. So I think we should encourage. My wife goes to the library twice a month with her. She started a nonprofit called Root and Arrow, and we flood the library. We read books. She has a teddy bear picnic at the Gilmore Park. We give free books away. I think we should be reading. I hope I get this right. Readers lead and leaders read. Read, read, read. If you can read, you can figure out the world. If you can figure out the world, you can decide what's right, what's wrong. It gives you discernment. What apparatus we have, I don't necessarily know to be specifically, but as a leader, I would encourage libraries. I would go to schools. I would tell them what my college experience meant to me. It opened up a world of opportunity. So I would just be an example of thinking that education elevates you, it gives you choices. If you don't choose to go to college, that's great. But I would just be a mouthpiece for as much reading as the homes could tolerate and go to the schools and say, I'm a reader, I'm a leader, I'm an example. What can I do to help you?
Mr. Chavis, what should the local government do to provide an equitable, quality public education for all children from pre-K through grade 12?
Well, it was a conversation that was started back in 22 for the $190 million bond referendum where Orangeburg County wanted to close schools, build new schools on the same footprint. It was an endeavor that, we tried to halt, but it still passed anyway. So I will also tell you that I'm the inaugural class for the Hunt Institute here in the state of South Carolina. And that is where we are now. We're because we just got Holly Hill Roberts Middle School from Orangeburg County School District back in May. It now belongs to the town of Holly Hill. We're looking at possibly bringing in early childhood care into not babysitting, early childhood care to bring in the kids so that we can go ahead and start getting them ready so we can get them when they enter 5K. These kids will already be able to hold pencils, write their name, know their sight words, recite the ABCs, and count before they enter 5K so that by the time they get into 5K, these kids are accelerated. But it's going to take a little bit of time to get all this stuff in. Like I said, we just got just got Holly Hill Roberts Middle School. It just come up underneath our umbrella, but it's all encompassing from the town trying to get these kids educated, get them ready for the workforce.
Mr. Phillips, what should the local government do to provide an equitable, quality public education for all children pre-K through grade 12?
Well, I have to agree with the other candidates that early childhood education is the best solution. Starting at home, like Mr. Dennis said, we have to start teaching them right then and there, writing their name, learning their name, speaking their name, with help from the neighbors. If you have to, get a group of children together in the early age before they go to school. But if they can understand what's going on at that age, hey, sit down, put a pencil in their hand, start teaching them how to write their names, start teaching them how to write their address, their phone number, knowing who they are, and whatever happens from there is going to be the most expensive lesson in their lives, that they will always be able to meet any challenge that they are confronted with.
And Mr. Stahl, what should the local government do to provide an equitable, quality public education for all children pre-K through grade 12?
I believe that the children should learn at an early age to read, write, arithmetic, everything like the other candidates have said. I believe that we need to work with the county and the state in that area. We can do some local things, but I really think that we need to lean on the education department and the people in the county that already have programs in place and see what we can do to get those implemented in our town for the people.
This will be the last question for the evening, and we'll start with Mr. Phillips. What, if anything, will you do to improve the overall quality of life of your constituents?
Well, there's always going to be collaboration with the community. I have to sit down, talk with different leaders of the districts. From there, have an open door policy that is conducive for conversation about where we can build, where we can bring entrepreneurship into the town, and develop that and renew the communication, because that right now, that's the biggest thing and the biggest problem that we have. There's no communication. With that, we will always be able to move forward and build together. And in the end, we can all become celebratory of what we have accomplished.
Mr. Stahl,
Could you repeat the question?
what, if anything, will you do to improve the overall quality of life for your constituents?
First of all, we need to, as Mayor Chavis said, there's a lot of people with low incomes in the area, and we need to stop the taxation by citation. There's over $400,000 per year starting in 26 that's required of the citizens out of citations and fees for court fees. The other thing we need to do is we need to address the business license fees so that we can attract new businesses. Uh, Basically, with the renovation of homes in the neighborhoods that I've been in, they need roofs, they need the windows, they need upgrades. These items are available through grants through the county and the state. I've spoken with Vernon Davis at the county, and he said that he has money available, and there are other grants available at the state. So we need to go into the neighborhoods, help put people into healthy homes so that they can have a quality of life.
Mr. Chavis,
Could you repeat the question, please?
what, if anything, will you do to improve the overall quality of life of your constituents?
Yes, ma'am. We're going to move forward together just as we've been doing the past almost 4 years now. We've been expanding the footprint of the town of Holly Hill, giving us a better seat at the table here in Orangeburg County. And just to address a couple of the misinformation that's being put out, business licenses were not raised 400%. They were raised 157%. Due to past administrations not raising business license over the year. Also, there is no such thing in the town of Holly Hill as taxation by citation. If we flip the page over to the expense side, then we will see that we have a court expenditures, fees expenditures. So we're going to continue down the street of the future. One of the things that we had, the town did not have direct deposit when I first got elected. Something as simple as the employees not having their sick time or their vacation time on their paychecks was something that was absolutely mind-blowing to me. Online banking, so we could get all of our financials in a timely fashion versus waiting for the bank to mail us our financials every month. It's a whole bunch of things that the citizens here now got that they didn't have before. The sidewalks all look the same. We sweep the streets, we're edging, we're cutting ditches. So the better quality of life as we all move forward into the 21st century is the greatest asset we have. That's what we've done the past 4 years is we moved Holly Hill into the 21st century. And the plan is to continue moving the town into the 21st century.
Mr. Dennis, what, if anything, will you do to improve the overall quality of life of your constituents?
Listen, I've built my campaign on one word. Listen, Stephen Covey said in Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, you have two ears and one mouth, and one closes. I built my whole campaign on listening to the people of Holly Hill. I met a constituent named Irene. She said, what are you going to do for me? I brought out a steno pad and said, what would you like me to do for you? She said, a clothing store. I can't keep driving on my limited income to Orangeburg and Somerville for clothes and jeans and socks and personal wear. She said, we could use a second grocery store. There's a list. People have intimated they want an updated noise ordinance. Someone told me they researched it. It went back to the 80s. It had to do with boom boxes. But listen to the people. I think the people will get it right if you listen to them. After you listen to the people, we'll have to come together and find achievable goals. We can't let the pursuit of perfection just stop us from doing what we can do. There has been progress. Mr. Chavis is right on that. But what we need to do is listen more. And I think the people want their voice back. And I'm writing and I'm filling a pad full of things. Mr. Thurman mentioned an ambulance center. We've had several people say it takes too long to get to Orangeburg, to the other hospitals south of us. But listen, find achievable goals, continue to refine those goals. Priorities change, but listen and find achievable goals. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we will have the closing statements by our candidates who will have 60 seconds, including where voters can contact you and learn more. We'll start with Mr. Chavis.
Yes, ma'am. Once again, I want to say thank you to the League of Women Voters. Thank you for having us. It's been a great talk. But our campaign has been built on one thing and one thing only. Holly Hill has always deserved better. And in order to give Holly Hill a seat at the table, one of the things that's always been done here on the eastern end of Orangeburg County is we've been told to sit down and shut up and eat from the 10% left in the field. This is Holly Hill's once-in-a-lifetime chance to bring us into the future and leave a solid foundation for all of the people here for our future generations to come. Anyone who wants to talk to me, as always, you can pull up at my house. You can call Town Hall. I'm always at Town Hall. If you want to email me at mayorofhollyhill@gmail.com. Everyone knows how to get in contact with me. I'm in the office every day. They're more than welcome to contact me. Thank you very much.
Mr. Dennis.
Would you repeat that? Pardon me real quick, that question.
This is your closing.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Well,
if you want how you can be contacted and to learn more about you.
You can find me on Facebook at Michael Dennis. I have banners up everywhere. My phone number is 843-324-1928. Don't text me past 10. Call me, text me, 843-324-1928. I'm here for the people. A little bit, Mr. Chavis, I want to draw us a little bit more back into the county. I think because we're in the county. And so I had at my business, the Orangeburg Fire Marshal visited after we were done with my clubhouse. He said, can we talk? I said, sure. He said, we don't do our fire inspections in the Holly Hill anymore. I said, I didn't know that. He said, well, it's been outsourced. So I want to draw us a little bit more back into the county. And I want to be people focused and I want to listen. And I want to be a mayor or a candidate for the people, of the people, and by the people. Thank you.
Mr. Phillips.
Can you repeat the question, please?
We're having your closing statements where you can tell the audience how to best contact you and give more information.
Yes, you can contact me at my website. It is electthermanphillipsjr.weebly.com. I can answer any questions. There's a Q&A section there. When you contact me there, and I will get back to you ASAP with all of the answers. I have a profile there that you can go and read through of my accomplishments over the years, working with major music artists in the music industry, working with the company that I had left before I came here from New Jersey, which, like I said, was a $10 million plus company, and help run that, and where we travel in and out of the country. So if you want any more information, go to my website, and anything that you can see there, you'll see all my profile.
And Mr. Stahl.
My name is Jeffrey Stahl, 843-478-6645. The biggest thing is we have an election of 4 people, and the county has made it clear that there will be no runoff. So you have a one and done election. It's very important that everybody understand that there is no runoff. There's an opportunity for Mayor Chavis to have 400 people vote against him and still win, because the vote will be split up between the other 3 candidates and he'll squeak out a 1 or 2 vote win. The people in Holly Hill do not want this administration. They want change. That's why you have 3 candidates running against Mayor Chavis. I have the experience, I have the contacts at the county. I am the businessman in this race. I will get things done for Holly Hill.
That concludes our forum for this evening, and we would like to thank our candidates for attending and everyone who submitted a question for our candidates, and you, the audience, for listening and becoming more informed voters. We encourage you to vote and go to South Carolina or scvotes.org to make a plan to vote, check your registration, find your polling place, and see what's on the ballot. Call your Board of Elections office by October 24th to apply for an absentee ballot. That number is 803-533-6210. Early voting begins on Monday, October 20th. Please vote and encourage your neighbors to do so as well. Thank you and have a lovely evening.
Miss Blaylock, can I interject right quick? The both polling places for Holly Hill will be at Holly Hill Roberts Middle School Gymnasium. Polls 1 and 2 will be at Orangeburg County Middle School or Holly Hill Roberts Middle School Gymnasium on
And
November
that's
4th.
on November 4th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.